A postcard at Commercial Street in Leeds, Yorkshire, UK. Postmarked 1981. A woman in a striped poncho walks with a man in a green cardigan past a W.H. Smith's. On the back part, the writing reads, "I'm feeling very fat and breathless." The handful of longer letters from the painter are more illuminating of his character, littered with apologies for poor behaviour and scattered with references towards failure and disappointment. I begin to fear that out of all the characters in this story, I am perhaps closest to the painter, and it causes an involuntary shudder. I look out the window. It rained steadily yesterday, but it's warmer today. With love, the archivist. Come to Butlins and have yourself a holiday. A postcard advertising a UK holiday resort, now used by me as a bookmark. I stare at it while I read a book on collections and think about this thing from my collection of things and wonder if I should do something else. Not with the work, but in general in life. I realise I have no recollection of this postcard's origins, no memory of how it came to be in my possession. Come to Butlins and have yourself a holiday. 2 children fly through the air in a small UFO. Come to Butlins. Have yourself a holiday. I keep thinking about this work in relation to Walter Benjamin's text about unpacking his library. In that text there is the line, "You have all heard of people whom the loss of their books has turned into invalids, or of those who in order to acquire them become criminals." For over a decade now I've been stealing doorstops from galleries around the world. As with many of the objects that I end up not collecting, this wasn't an intentional decision. The first one was taken from my then place of work, the Whitechapel Gallery in London's East End. I worked there on and off for a total of around 10 years, mostly in the capacity of operations assistant and duty manager. I listened to visitors' complaints, moved furniture around the building, and repainted white walls made dirty by a general public incapable of not leaning on them, heavy of corporeal form as they try to soak up culture. Essentially, I performed near invisible tasks, and as such I largely felt and to some extent was treated as invisible. A ghost within the institution, a helpful poltergeist. The first doorstop I took was made of a grey, flexible, rubbery material. It has a blotch of white-grey paint across it towards its thicker end, forming a line where it would meet the door. I would prop open a door while giving it a new lick of paint when patrons' feet and filthy digits had suddenly rendered my work, or lack thereof, visible. And so I would paint the door back to invisible grey, and whichever doorstop I was using would invariably receive a light smattering of paint too. One day on completing this task I decided I liked how the doorstop looked. I liked its shape, I liked the fact it was stoic and useful, and I liked the fact that there was a trace of my hand in the grey streak on its bulbous rump. So I took it, and I did not stop. There is a slowness to collecting. It is at odds with the speed of modern life, the blur of social media, the gnawing, whirring pace of the digital age. It's about slow accumulation, a hunt for the elusive, and often too a fascination with the now defunct. Objects in collections often no longer perform their original allotted task. These doorstops stop nothing, shifted instead to a new form, coveted by me, curios to an onlooker. As Maria Stepanova puts it in her work In Memory of Memory, objects falling out of currency slowly lose their defining qualities. They return to the materials from whence they came, wax, paint, clay. The past rewilds itself. Oblivion springs up out of it like a forest. In this case, a forest made of tiny wooden triangles, perhaps. Anyway, I digress. An almost square postcard. It features a carved stone relief from the Parthenon of a fight between Lapith and Centaur. The Centaur is missing one of its front and back legs, its left arm and its nose. The Lapith, its left arm wrapped around the Centaur's neck in a chokehold, comes off far worse, missing its right arm, head and penis. On the back, a message from the painter reads, "Thank you for your card. I haven't made much of an impression on the commercial art world. Perhaps I am not confidential enough. Anyway, the walking is good exercise." And again, the sting of recognition. I know how you feel, I think, as I gaze across a desk covered in objects that hint toward a life misspent. Head down. Keep going.